All right, well, let's turn the page now and get ready for some crazy cold weather. We've been talking about it, Brad. Some brutally cold air is on the way.
Yeah, and even though I know this is coming, it is still going to be a shock to the system. I can't really emphasize enough the drastic change that's going to be heading our way. Rain arrives overnight, so it's going to be rain. It's going to be a chilly rain in the morning, but the temperature is going to drop all day. I mean, you're going to go into work, come out to lunch, it's going to be colder. You're going to come out after work, it's going to be colder. You'll go out to walk the dog, it's going to be colder. It's just going to be one of those days where every time you go outside, it gets colder, and snow and ice in the mountains. Now, our overnight temperatures really top out around 55 at midnight. Wherever it is at midnight, that's the high tomorrow. Then it just falls from there, and it just continues to go down throughout the day. Now, the best rain chances, unfortunately, time out with the morning commute. So not only is it going to be a miserable cold rain, but you know how the morning commute and rain goes around here. Not really good. So the roads will be a mess tomorrow, even though it's just rain. And make sure you have the rain gear. That rain's not too far away, heading towards the mountains now. You can see the batch of rain back to the west, and yes, that's snow moving through parts of the Mississippi Valley. As the front approaches tonight, it starts as rain, changes to snow pretty quickly in the mountains. That's why we'll see a flash freeze, because temperatures drop below freezing. Anything wet, then the snow on top of it. But plunging temperatures really causes issues. Now, a lot of questions about would we see black ice here in the Piedmont. The good news for us is that the rain moves out so quickly that we're going to have about an 8-hour window of gusty winds and dry conditions. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be warm, but it's going to be well above the freezing mark, and that should allow for everything to dry out. Plus, the sun will be out, so that will help dry out things. So I don't anticipate any black ice tomorrow night. But if anything is wet and it doesn't dry up completely, that's certainly a possibility. Have a little low pressure system late Thursday into Friday off the coast that could bring us a few sprinkles as well. So in the mountains, my snow meter, I'm not busting it out for the Piedmont yet, but we are going to give it a 3 because we're going to have slick roads, and we're probably going to have delays or closures. This is the kind of situation where the roads are a mess, even with a small amount of snow, because it's a little bit of snow on top of what's likely going to be ice. So normally these amounts aren't that big of a deal, but when you have the flash freeze, it becomes a big issue. Now, if you want some big totals, you're going to have to go up really high, above 5,000 feet. I think up there, top of Beach, Sugar, Mount Mitchell, Grandfather Mountain, those locations could end up with 4 inches plus. But most areas, as you move down in elevation, get much lower amounts because it's going to be rain for a longer period of time. Higher elevations could stay snow a lot longer, especially with those cold temperatures coming in aloft. You see the cold air. Watch this Arctic front. I mean, it just barrels through here. So during the morning hours, look at the temperatures continue to fall. During the day, we'll be in the teens. By this time tomorrow night in the mountains, below freezing in some neighborhoods at 6 o'clock in the evening. So really cold conditions. So overnight in Boone, you can see when the Arctic front arrives, roughly right about there, it's just boom, temperature drops. That's what a flash freeze is. Goes from above freezing to below freezing very, very quickly. So travel in the mountains, very low to medium, maybe even some high impact in a couple locations here in the North Carolina mountains. So we're going to watch this potential for some really slick roads tomorrow morning. All of our mountain counties under the winter weather advisory. That's why. Now for the Charlotte area, the cold front arrives right around the morning hours. So we go from 50s and then fall into the 40s, and we pretty much stay there. And then by this time tomorrow night, we'll be hovering near the freezing mark. So potentially some record-breaking cold as well. By Wednesday and Thursday morning, those temperatures will be flirting with the upper teens to around 20 degrees. The coldest air, not only of the season, but of all of 2019. We've got about 3 days of this really cold stuff. Even this weekend, it's a little bit warmer, but that's below average for this time of year. Could see a few sprinkles on Friday before it clears back out Saturday into Sunday. We'll be right back.